Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is certainly a first for me, and I would believe also a first for Khayalethu. I'm Craig Killian. I'm your auditor, but also tasked with opening, I think must be probably about, 10 or 15 years running now, opening this meeting with prayer. So I'm going to ask you to, where you're sitting now, just to bow your heads, and we'll just open with prayer. Dear Lord, we thank you that we can be together this morning. We thank you for the people and the resources available to us to be able to hold this AGM remotely. Lord, thank you for the blessings which you so richly bestow on us. We are living in challenging times, and you have showed us the importance of family and that which we so easily take for granted. Thank you, Lord, for looking after Khayalethu, not only financially, but also emotionally. Lord, I ask you to bless Khayalethu, the boys, the staff, the donors, and especially management. Please give them the guidance and the clarity to make the correct decisions to sail this ship through the next year. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for joining us here in Port Elizabeth, a very cold and windy Port Elizabeth. Like Craig said, it's the first of these type of meetings that we are having. And it's maybe the new normal, we don't know. Going forward, we'll have to see. And everybody says, just do it. So we're just going to do it. I would especially like to thank Nicolette van der Walt from the ACDB head office. She's the National Manager Child Protection lady, and she is joining us today. Is it from Cape Town? Yeah, from Cape Town. And Lisa van Zyl, she's the regional manager of the ACDB. Brett Lee, he is our local ACDB Khayalethu Youth Centre, the financial advisor. Nono Tembani, she is one of our board members. Ron Bartlett is a board member. And then Craig, our auditors, very, very important people for us. Annelie van Rooyen, our social worker. Hildegard Brimmer, she is the Buyani Safe Haven manager. Dirk Meiber, he's in our accounting services. Amy Slobbert from KFC. Peter Long from Long Constructions. Dr. Janine van Steenkister, biographical and motivational consultant. That sounds very impressive. Thank you for joining us. Margaret Martin, social development. Ansa van Wyk, she's our bookkeeper. She's doing a splendid job. And Craig will later elaborate on that. One of the very important, finances are very important, so they're very important people. Hesty, she's in our admin. Terry Ann Swat, she's a social worker. Innocent Shalezi. Yeah, he's our other social worker. And then I've got some apologies from Michelle Brown from Brown PR. Mrs. Snyman, one of our board members, she couldn't attend today. Ina Rousseau from IPC. Rian Marie, he's the director of the EP Child and Youth Care Centre. Dion Barras, he's from also one of our board members, and Arnel Goosen, another board member. Unfortunately, they couldn't attend. But to the rest of you, I specified some people in finance as being important, but every single person that I've mentioned and that are involved with Khayalethu are very special to us. So thank you very much for your contribution and also for joining us. And then this morning in my devotional time, I got a piece which I thought was really applicable to today. And it says, I believe God wants us to finish whatever He calls us to do, even when it requires patience, perseverance, and hard work. Be willing to endure patiently to see God's plan to take place in your life. If God has given you a vision of something, He wants you to accomplish it. Keep doing whatever He has given you to do. And I just thought, at our last AGM last year, I mentioned that it was a very exciting year last year, not knowing that 2020 had what 2020 had in store for us. The COVID-19 situation threw us a curveball that no one expected or even imagined. Even though our lives have been disrupted, we are thankful to say that we are still all healthy and safe. Some of us may have lost friends and family, but Khayalethu's, the ACVB Khayalethu Youth Centre, the home, has been spared loss of life. Our condolences to those of you who are grieving the passing of a loved one. By the grace of God and very hard work, commitment of the staff and excellent management, Khayalethu is still making a difference in the lives of our boys. Our main focus will always be the well-being of our boys, and we cherish each milestone and goal achieved by our boys. The boys are adjusting to the new normal way of life, maybe better than some of us adults. We had to adjust, plan, and come up with new innovative ideas to manage the crisis. The fact that we did not receive subsidies from government for 3.5 months also added to the stress of coping with the situation. And Craig has just recently remarked that he's losing hair. Now, us ladies, luckily we can colour the grey. Poor Mariki has gone completely grey from stress. So we are trying to cope with this situation as best as possible. We would like to thank every one of you for your contribution and interest. Without you who believe and support us, we would not have been able to survive the current economic climate. Then I would like to just move to the annual report. I believe the annual report has been sent to each and every one of you. And we can just start with the people on the board. The financial committee will include myself, Arnel Goosen, and Brett Lee. We are the people who have signing authority on the bank accounts. Now, we have very strict rules and we adhere to all the auditing rules regarding any banking. So only these three can sign. Then the management board, it's myself as chairperson, Arnel, she's vice chair. Brett Lee is our financial advisor. Ziyolo Dick is HR advisor. Nono Tembani is additional member. Luella Snyman, she's the additional member. Dion Barras, additional member. Ron Bartlett, additional member. Annelie van Rooyen, she's the staff, she was the staff representative. She has unfortunately resigned and we've got a new social worker who will be for next year our staff representative. Muriel Roman, she's a staff representative. Joseph Dondashi is Khayalethu's representative. And Estienne Hess, also a Khayalethu representative. These Khayalethu representatives come to our meetings and they really tell us what's on their hearts. And they will voice concerns which we as a board listen to and take note of and try and address. Sometimes it's like something like complaining about the food, which unfortunately is not something we can always change, because it would be nice to have proper 5-star meals, but we do with what we have, and we listen to their hearts. And the children usually come in with a lot of positive things to say. Thank you for the soccer balls. Thank you for listening to us about something else. And we really try to help. So we need these representatives from Khayalethu in our meetings also, so that we as a board get to know what is going on in the running of the home. We're not just a board that have a meeting once a year. We really listen to what people are saying. And especially the staff also, because they are the knowledgeable people. So to come back to our personnel, we have 15 staff members. And this year has been fraught with challenges, many of which were a result of resignations due to better salaries and or working condition offers. And every time a staff member resigns, it takes time for the boys to adjust. That's why I say it's a challenge. So we would like to keep our staff, but unfortunately there are things like better salaries and working conditions out, and which we can't always give people. So it causes instability with the boys, and it takes time to adjust, but luckily the boys are really resilient, and they come back and usually surprise us. Okay, and then our Khayalethu staff is Dr. Mariki. She is the director. I always say this lady is the one who really had the vision for Khayalethu. And I've been working with Mariki for about the past 15, 16 years. And we have grown to know each other, and she usually say that I am her brakes. Because she's got the vision, she's got the absolute energy, and then between Craig and myself, we're the wet blankets. Because my first question will be, how soon do you want to do it? And Craig will ask, how much is it going to cost? And there have been times where poor Mariki was really very disappointed because the board didn't see her vision. We did see her vision, but the timing wasn't right. And so far it's worked out perfectly between the whole board, the cohesion, the vision we have, because we really full out the position of putting the brakes on and going and having the passion. And in Afrikaans we always say, jy vul my aan. So that is what we've been doing as a board. We've got members from all walks of life really making Khayalethu work. And Dr. Mariki has been the one with the vision, the passion, and she knew from the start what God had put on her heart to do. And she's accomplishing it, and we are really very happy. Then Annelie van Rooyen, she was our senior social worker. Unfortunately, she has resigned. Her position has been full, but thank you, Annelie, for this. You've been really somebody who we could trust and who really made a difference in the boys' lives. And we thank you for your service. Then Innocent, he's one of our childcare workers.
Social worker.
Oh, social worker, yeah. Sorry for that. Innocent he has developed so much that he is an absolute pleasure to have, because he's got this learning spirit, and he just helps wherever he can. And because he's male as well, he helps the boys in terms of being a father figure for them. And Innocent is doing a stalwart job. Ansa, she is our bookkeeper. Now, Ansa is the one who stresses. And she stresses because at the end of the month, she looks at the books and she says, how are we going to get through the next month? So Craig is her vangnet, her support, and between the two of them, they handle the finances. Ansa, thank you for stressing on our behalf. Hestie in admin, Hestie does anything. From our vehicles, she does everything as well. Vehicles, keys, quotes, she knows plumbers, electricians. You just call on her and she knows somebody. She knows somebody somewhere. So Hestie is our yellow pages. Sue Ann, she is the K2 coordinator and the medical. She's full-time. She helps with the K2 boys. And that is quite a challenging job because those boys are adults. So it's a totally different level from the smaller boys. So thank you, Sue. Then Fundile, he's our driver. Shame, poor Fundile, he gets sent everywhere. He has to pick up kids, he has to drive, he really does whatever is put before him. So thank you, Fundile. And then Antru. I think for the boys, she is the most important person because she's our chef. And she fills their stomachs, she looks after them, and she's the house mother for the boys. Thank you, Andrew, for that. Muriel, Jean, Siyabulela, Kuma, Renton, and Levuyo. They are our childcare workers, and these people really have a lot on their hands. Working with these boys is like having 35 boys in one house and you're the mother. And not all of them are on duty at the same time. So it's not like you can split them in groups of 5 or 6 even. You sometimes have quite a few boys that need supervision. And as with any boy, they are not very quiet, they don't sit still the whole day, they are a handful. And these childcare workers of us, we really appreciate them. Without them, Khayalethu wouldn't be able to run. Then we've got one relief childcare worker, that's Cynthia, and Runel, she's our teacher. Runel is also doing a really, really splendid job with our school, and she gets boys ready to go to the normal school, but if not, she's the one who fills in, she helps with homework, and she gets the boys to develop to the point or to the level where they can really function in the broader society. Okay, so we have 6 childcare workers, 1 relief, and then we've got quite a few admin and other staff, but in total, for this year, it has been a challenge in that we had 3 childcare workers resign and 3 childcare workers absconded, which means that in this period, we had to get replacements for them, and it was upsetting to the boys, and the other childcare workers had to fill in for those childcare workers, but in the end we made it work. And I want to thank every single person who had to work overtime, who had to fill in and do a double shift sometimes on short notice, and who just was able and willing to help wherever it was necessary. And we had Hesty running around, cooking in the kitchen, and Andrew helping with the washing and doing something else, and helping with the boys, and we had to make work. And thank you so much for doing that. It's not the norm, but we're in crisis times. With the COVID-19, we didn't have the luxury of just closing down and going to sit at home. We were open, we had to manage and learn in this process. Our personnel training, that is in-service training occurs every Monday for the childcare workers. We train our childcare workers and even our staff when necessary, where we can. And it depends on what the need is for the training. The rest, I think, is quite extensive. Well, there's a report on exactly what we do in terms of training, so if you could just read that. Meetings and the Constitution. We had an AGM last year on the 12th of June, and I would like to just go back to the, here it is, the minutes of the previous meeting. How are we going to do the approval, Mariki? Should we, the minutes need to be approved, so are we going to do it later? And then we can have people just emailing us the approval and somebody to second?
Yeah.
Okay. If everyone can just read through the AGM minutes of last year and just tell us if you have any questions, we will address it. If we need to change something, you're welcome to just tell us if you pick up any problems. And if somebody, whoever would like to approve it and then second it for us as well, then we can note it for this year as well and minute it also. Ansa could just add it to the minutes then. Okay, we have monthly stats that we have to complete and submit. That is done every month on time. Mariki is like a piranha. If something needs to be done, we need to submit our figures. She is on it, and between her and Ansa and the social workers, they get things done. Moving to point 6, vehicles. We have a few vehicles. We have got a report here on the vehicles. If you could please read through it. I just want to mention one thing. Mariki's vehicle, or actually the Toyota Taz that she uses, is currently 20 years old. It's not going to last very much longer. So actually when she took it for a service the last time, they said to her, if she fixes anything on the engine, she's overcapitalizing because the body is worth nothing. It's really almost falling apart. So that's the one vehicle we'll have to look at replacing. And then, because the safety of the boys is our primary concern, we have to look to maintain our vehicles at all times to the best we can. Because we cannot let them get into a vehicle that is not roadworthy or is actually going to cause them to be stranded along the way. Please read through the vehicle report. If there are any questions, you can always email us. Buildings and terrain. In the past 6 years, our property has grown and developed a great deal. I think you will know that last year I was so excited. The house got a paint and a makeover and a little bit of a facelift, and it looked so much better. We have added in the past 6 years, we've added a swimming pool, a soccer field, a fire pit, new office block, flat for the K2 residents, an extra classroom for the Strong Foundation School, a play therapy room, a double carport, and the best of all, a vegetable garden. We're trying to show the boys that you can do something for yourself, plant a vegetable garden and eat from it, and be self-sustainable as well in terms of food production. And but it's an ongoing process. We have got, Mariki's actually got so many more plans of what we're going to do to become self-sustainable, but yeah, we'll get to that later. The major project for the 2019-2020 financial year has been the building of a new hall, which we will name the Schaeffler Space for Learning. This is currently in production almost, because we're using the floor, the foundation, to do our morning breakfasts. But we're currently building the walls, and the roof is up. So we hope to take it into full, well, get to it to full working capacity almost by next year.
Actually, no. Actually, by the end of August, we would be able
This
to
year?
start. Yep.
Oh, my goodness, sorry. I
To
thought
start using it.
Okay.
But then still develop the finer points.
Yeah.
But the basic use, we can probably will start end of August.
Okay. Yeah, Mariki is always one step ahead, so I thought it was going to take a little longer. Stephen Shadwell, he's our architect on this project, and we would like to thank him for the work he's done there. And then Ron Bartlett from Salon Engineering, he has been acting as Khayalethu's project manager on the building of this Space for Learning. and he's a volunteer, so he's not getting paid, so thank you for that, Ron. With this space of learning, we found that because it's a big hall, it's nice when the boys, especially in bad weather like we currently have a place where they can play, have games, instead of just sitting watching TV. So it's also recreational. And if it's completed by the end of August, that would be really good, because then we can still have, in the colder September months, we can have them at least play inside. The maintenance of buildings, it's an ongoing project. You can imagine with the boys, 35 boys, they play soccer, they throw stones, they break windows. Things happen because cricket balls, tennis balls. So there's a lot of maintenance, and but like I say, that's just normal maintenance on a house that you will have at your own private property also. There's a list of people who are involved with our maintenance. Please read through that, and I would just like to thank every one of them for being involved. Without that, the maintenance is costly. Without people involved and helping where they can, it would have cost us a lot more. So thank you to everybody. Point 8, safety and security. That, of course, is top priority for the board. And we have taken the following steps this year. We have got armed response sponsored by Atlas. Weekly inspections are being done on the beams and alarms on the premises. All staff are aware of the password and how to act in case of emergency. An emergency evacuation plan has been put in place, and the boys and staff have been educated on the procedure to follow in case of an emergency. Fire extinguishers are regularly maintained. Panic buttons are in place. Safety fence was installed at the sewerage yard with lockable gates. This is unfortunately, we need to keep the boys out from exploring or trying to find out how things work, like any normal boy does. So we had to keep them out there. Safety fence was installed around the carport. Again, just to make sure that they don't try and find out how a car works or take the wheels off. The security fence around the premises is maintained by Mr. Fundila Dama. And in December, security cameras were installed. Only half of them are operational at the moment. We are busy addressing this problem. When I say we try and keep the boys out, it is not because they're just naughty. It's because they are boys. And I never raised boys. And I always said to Mariki, why are the boys so naughty? Now I've got a grandson. And I suddenly realized that boys aren't naughty. They like to take things apart. They like to know how it works. They like to know all the components. And then they try to put them back again, and unfortunately it doesn't always work when they put them back. So this is what our boys do. They are inquisitive, they are normal boys, and we just have to keep them out a little bit so that we don't end up with things that don't work after they've tried to fix it. On point 9, the work programs, the social work programs. I'm going to hand over to Mariki. She's going to explain what this entails. It is really quite clear in the report we've sent you. You can read through it, and again, if there are any questions, please let us know. We're open to discuss it. And after that, Mariki will hand over to Craig, who's going to do the financial report. Craig has been involved with us since 2004, so he's also an old hand, and we grow old in this organisation. Dr. Mariki, I've told you, she is just an amazing person, and we really appreciate her. Mariki, over to you.
Thank you. As Leonai said, the program, residential program, is fully detailed in the report of the AGM. I want to say thank you to my two social workers, Innocent and Annelie, that work directly with the boys and do the coordinate and the program and the boys. And I also want to say thank you to Annelie that did also a short PowerPoint for everyone just to see what we do. I'm just going to highlight a few things. Our first program is our health and hygiene and nutrition. Underneath that is our taking the boys to the dentist, is our health screening. Every winter, our boys get flu vaccination. We do deworming. Sue and Margine take the boys for the clinic visits. We make use of Linton Clinic, Provincial, Dora. And then we also want to say thank you to Dr. Stint, that whenever we are stuck and we really do not know where to go, he's always willing to help, give advice, and also see our boys free of charge. Then Sister Marty is also a big hand and really giving us a big help at Khayalethu. Then Dora Rape Crisis Center and also the Dora Clinical Psychologist. Hygiene is high on the priority, with boys. I know even with my own boys, shower is not the highest thing on his priority list, so that's something that we regularly have to check. Every boys get their fresh toiletries every month. Housekeeping, like a normal house, every boy have different chores. Washing dishes, sweeping the floor, taking out the rubbish bin. Then the normal stuff like what happened in a normal house, the washing of bedding. Then every boy also have a locker where he puts his clothes in. Then we make use of 7 different schools. So you can just imagine if you have 7 different schools, and from the youngest about 6 till the oldest 19, getting them to the different schools in time, get them clothes in the right school clothes, that's quite a challenge, and I really take my hat off for my personnel here. Then nutrition, Antra is doing a great job with the kitchen. We also want to say thank you to KFC here for helping us with every year a big donation towards our groceries. Sometimes people will ask with KFC, the £2 that when you go to KFC, and the lady behind the till say, would you like to donate the extra £2? A lot of people will say, but where's the £2 going? And I can say with a very blessed heart that part of that £2 come to Khayalethu for our groceries, and I also know they assist quite a lot of other children's homes. Then main schooling, we focus to get our boys into main school. We have boys in Westview, Verkenner, Hellenvale, Bershig, and then we were also very blessed with Bonsai, taking 4 of our boys. We also started a little school. It's more like from the time that they come into Khayalethu till they're ready for the mainstream school, a gap year school where we have the Strong Foundation School. Renal, our teacher, is involved there, and they focus on literacy and normacy, and out of that Strong Foundation, we had so much success, and boys being placed from Strong Foundation after a year, 2 years back into mainstream. So the pilot project for Strong Foundation is a big part of Khayalethu. Then we also have homework classes in the afternoon, where Renal, our teacher, is involved with, and also some volunteers. Then we also have sport programs. Sensei Tony Williams and Michelle is the senseis at Khayalethu. karate plays quite a big role in one of our sport programs at Khayalethu. Then soccer is a main hit at Khayalethu. So I want to say thank you to Mrs. Neyman that donated soccer boots this year, and then everyone that during the year have sponsored soccer balls. The boys go through them like you cannot imagine, but it's really not breaking them, it's really playing them, that nothing is left. So thank you for that. We are very proud to say that 13 of our boys participated in the Iron Kids 2019 in April. All of the boys and staff are on duty next to the road, cheering the Ironman athletes. 24 of our boys participate in the Diabetics Fun Run in May 2019. 20 boys participate in the Colour Run in May. Then we also took part in the Spa River Mile and also the Ocean Race series. All our Khayalethu boys is being sponsored to take place. Then therapy and life skill training makes a big part of our treatment towards the boys. Counselling from the social workers side is very important. We also had Seri Watkins and Lishay Cup that had weekly sessions with our boys. We also have a play therapy room where the social worker worked directly one-on-one with the boys, and also group sessions. All our boys are on a monthly basis, seen individually by the social worker. Then fun and leisure for the boys. 28 of our boys had several potjie course competitions. 4 of our boys went to Baywest. Our boys do a regular beach cleanup. And I also want to say thank you to Sosa Binza, BNI, that really, I'm part of that networking group, and they really took Khayalethu underneath their wings. And whenever we need something or we have a function, BNI, the BNI team always take part and support. And then Heinz in Style, the Tree of Joy with the boys, and also Kelson Motors with the Elves Christmas boxes. Then culture and spiritual welfare. We are part of the Storehouse Church for our spiritual welfare. And then also when a boy is ready for his initiation, I always say as a white lady, I don't understand it, but I have seen that if you don't help and you don't do it, what the effects is on that. So that is also a big part of Khayalethu. When our boys are ready, the men in Khayalethu will have a meeting with the community to see if they are ready to go for the initiation, to going to the bush, and Khayalethu help where they can. We also do community service, where boys will assist with a race, being marshals next to the road, beach cleanups. Also have been working at Missionville Care Centre, Lake Farm, Fairway Stables. And then one of the things that we also put quite a lot of energy in is the Family Reunification program, where the social workers make sure that there's direct contact with the boys and their families. Because Khayalethu, one day that boy will leave Khayalethu and he must have a happlek in a community, somewhere, but it's a safety network for him. And then we also have the Oliver program. We're very proud of this program, where the boys that have finished with their school go in a separate program, Department of Social Development, refer to it as an independent living program. Now we have 3 boys in that program, and that's the boys that go through K1 into K2. During that time, we help them with bank account, they get their SARS number, they get their IDs, and we also to help them to get their learners and their driver's license. Then marketing and fundraising, can I just go on there? With marketing and fundraising, that's a daily thing that we do at Khayalethu, that I need to do to keep us afloat. And people can't get involved with Khayalethu if they don't know about us, and that is the main thing that's helping us, because with the subsidy that we get from the department, it's not enough to cover all Khayalethu's expenses. And here's really a network that Khayalethu have built through the years that helped us. Um, and then, overall, I think we had a very good year with a lot of programs. I think Craig will also speak about that last year that we were able to put more money into the programs of the boys. And that on the main end is what we want to do, because for me, a success is if a boy go out of Khayalethu and is able to go into a working environment where he can work, where he can take care of his family. Then I know we have succeeded in what we try to do at Khayalethu. And then I would like to show a PowerPoint that a social worker, Annie van Rooyen, through the years, that it's a short clip for about 2 minutes just to show what we do at Khayalethu. I always say talk is cheap, and it's very easy to say what you do, but you need to prove. And our photos during the year is our proof for what we do and what we say in our report. So I'm going to say thank you, Annie. We're looking forward to your PowerPoint. I want to, part of our report is to say thank you to all our sponsors. I want to end off to say that without sponsors, without people that care, we would not be able to keep Khayalethu's doors open and give the support and service and care to the boys that we do. At the back of our report, it also will be on our Facebook, is all our sponsors that we want to say thank you very much. It really takes a village to raise a boy, and it takes a whole community and a country to help Khayalethu. So from social development, from the subsidy side, thank you very much. Thank you for the people that gives us a monthly cash donation. Thank you for the once-off donations that we get. Thank you for the third-party donations where people just stop at the gate, bring vegetables or stuff for the boys. And then also for our volunteers that give their time. Albert Versterk with the art classes, Dr. Stint, H. de Jager with the telephones, Natasha Sanders for robotics, Nico Reeder with the maths, Play Intervention Centres, Sherry Watkins and Lishay Kapp, Ron Barlett with Salon Engineering, Renal Dwyer with helping with the homework classes, Thomas, email and our website hosting, Wayne Bolton with assisting with any HR issues, and then also for Tracy and from Work and Play, helping with the digital marketing, and then a special thank you to David from Above and Beyond for today. This is really a first in Khayalethu, and I was joking this morning to say that we are making history here. When we woke up this morning and we saw all the people in the digitals, and I got a big stress in my heart. And then, so David, thank you very much. Thank you for sponsoring this. You and your team are amazing. This is really a first for Khayalethu. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thanks, guys. And I just want to give over to my chairperson.
Then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate you as family of Khayalethu. Some of you have been involved for many years, and I hope that we can have a much longer relationship for many years more. And I wish you all good health, and please stay safe, and blessings. Thank you so much.